Hello and welcome to chapter 15 of Bookish After Dark. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Today's episode we are talking about Mile High by Liz Tomforde. Just as a side note, it's incredibly hot here and so we're having to film with the windows open, which means traffic, potentially flies, so ignore them. And also we're now filming at my house, which means we've got a snory dog down there, so just bear with Mason.
It all adds to the aesthetic.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We are cosy girlies.
We are.
Yeah.
Mason says hi. So the blurb, Xanders. Chicago hockey isn't complete without me, everyone's favourite player to hate. I know my role and I play it well. In fact, I thoroughly enjoy spending the majority of my game time in the penalty box before leaving the arena with a new girl on my arm each night. What I don't like is the new flight attendant on our team's private plane. She works for me, not the other way around. But I'll be sure to remind her of that, and I can guarantee by the end of the season she'll be begging to quit her job. But every road trip blurs the lines, and I can't quite figure out if I keep pushing that flight attendant call button in order to push her buttons, or if it's more than that. Stevie. I've been a flight attendant for years. I thought I'd seen it all, but when my job lands me on board working for the most egotistical and self-righteous diva in the NHL, I start to second-guess everything, including the promise I made to myself of never hooking up with an athlete again, no matter how annoyingly tempting he may be. Evan Xanders is unfiltered, unapologetic, and too attractive for his own good. He loves his image, but I hate everything about it. Everything but him.
Yes.
Yeah, but like, he's hot.
I know, exactly. So it doesn't matter.
So, ratings and overall opinions.
You go first.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. I rated this 4 stars.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was fantastic. When I first started reading it, I think I was in a bit of a slump, so it took me quite a bit longer to read than I would say it normally would. But I don't think that's anything to do with the book. I think it's to do with me. I did think there was a little bit of a lull, towards the middle, but
Yeah.
I think most books are like that.
Yeah.
To be honest. But I just really loved it. I thought it was really cute. I thought Xanders is an absolute sweetheart, really.
Deep down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the things that
He's just a baby.
just a baby. And the thing that I loved about it generally as well is that obviously Stevie's a bigger girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how he treated Stevie was how every man should treat a woman, just generally. But also especially someone that's got
Insecurities.
Insecurities and body issues.
Yeah. And I just thought it was just the cutest thing ever.
It was
just good.
Nice.
And now I want to read the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my opinion. Ellie?
I was a 4. I might have been a 4.5. I don't. Somewhere around that.
It's been
It'll be in the edit.
It's been a few weeks since we've read it.
It has. But I loved it.
Yeah.
And again, being a hockey girly, I get to wear the jersey this time because Xanders is number 11 and I've got number 11 on my jersey.
Such a fangirl.
I am, especially when it comes to hockey teams, especially within the UK. The hockey scene isn't as big.
No.
It's just not the same.
And not a lot of people know that the UK have hockey teams. We do. There's 6 of them.
She's putting it out there. If you don't know, get to know.
What the viewers want to know is, do they do the same warm-ups that the
Americans do?
Yeah, okay.
Right,
Then
well.
I think
they
you've
do.
converted some people.
That's it.
Yeah, even
Sign
if you just
us
go
up.
for the warm-ups.
And come home afterwards.
But no, I really liked it. I agree with the lull.
Mm-hmm.
And I could feel the third act breakup.
It was coming.
About halfway through the book, I was like,
Something's gonna go wrong.
But the ending was really cute, and I already even just from reading just this book, you can tell who the next couple is going to be in the next book.
Oh yeah,
which is what I like.
Yeah, set it up well.
Yeah, I like an interconnected series where you can figure out who the next couple is going to be.
Because then it makes you want to read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you like the couple. I can't remember what book it was, but I have read an interconnected series where I was I can tell who the next couple are going to be, and I don't like them, so therefore I'm not reading it.
So skipping it.
I don't care about your relationship.
Sorry.
Where's the next one?
But yeah, no. I like these ones.
Yeah.
So I will be reading the next one.
I think I gave it a 4. maybe 4.5. It's around that
Somewhere in that space.
vicinity. So, but I loved it. Like it's rare that I read a sports romance. Like they're very hit and miss for me. I just think like, I don't know. I feel like because Every Man and His Dog does it, it's hard to find one that's pretty decent. But I love Xander's from the get-go. I was like, he was a prick, but
he's so sassy.
I can't say no.
And it's the fact that like on the plane,
he keeps pressing the button.
He keeps doing it. He's like, can I have, what is it, my soda, water and lime or whatever it is that he wants, extra lime. And it's the fact that she's like, it's in the container over there.
And he's like,
but I want
you to do it. I'm going to keep pressing.
I mean, don't get me wrong, a little bit weird. Who just drinks soda water?
I know.
But like,
we can bypass.
That is a genuine red flag that we won't overlook.
We can bypass that, but I loved them both together.
Yeah.
I think because they were so different.
Yeah.
You know, the two completely different cloths.
Mm.
And obviously, she's got this job as a flight attendant. He's the absolute fucking knobhead. But I just love that she don't take shit from him.
No.
There's nothing worse for me for an MNC that folds at the first hurdle.
Yeah, it's like my first highlight in the book is that bit where he's asking for sparkling water, extra lime, and she's like, it's in the back row, grab it yourself.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, Stevie, I'd really like it if you brought it to me. She goes, well, Evan, I would really like it if you paid attention during my safety demo instead of assuming I wanted your autograph like some little puck bunny. She condescendingly pats me on the shoulder, which I don't, and I'm not.
Oh, no, see, like, my highlight was my first one,
Oh,
anyway,
let's get the first one, then.
was, I'm a single woman. Of course, the first thing I notice is a man's hand. Especially the left one. I'm like, yeah.
Why the left one? Oh.
That took her a good minute. She was like, what's left and right?
I'm not that kind of girl. What can I say?
That's not me. I just like the little thing all the way through where he's like, Stevie, are you following me? Are you following me? I'm like, yes, I am.
They just kept doing it to each other, didn't they? Yeah. Like, every time they saw each other, it's, you following me?
Yes.
Like, yes.
I am. And I might be leaving a wet trail behind me as well.
A little slug trail.
Like a slug snake.
Oh, so many.
I just love it. The banter between them is elite.
Yeah. And, like, I like the fact that it's sort of, yes, it's brought up a lot.
Her way.
The fact that Stevie is a bigger woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's sort of, I do love it, but it got to a part where I was like, yeah, okay, cool, I know.
I know it.
I know.
She knows it.
But when Xander's, like, stands her in front of the mirror and was like, point out something that you don't like.
Oh my god, I think I highlighted that entire page.
I think I did as well.
And it was like...
Like, the whole thing.
Well, I don't know. It was like... She was like, if you can't do that, point out something that you love. And she's like, well, I like my eyes. And I like my hair. And I was like... I can relate to you on a spiritual basis.
I am with you there. I don't know.
Because it's just like some days, with us all being bigger women, like some days
it's hard.
You just you can't. You hate everything that you wear. You hate how you look. Like that's just how it works. And then other days you feel great.
Yeah,
and like you could conquer the world.
Yeah.
But the fact that she's got Xander's there,
who's coming from like a bigger girl. Xander's isn't someone who you would expect to pick you.
No.
You know, you never want to be in a relationship where you feel like they are one above you, weight-wise and, you know, physical-wise. And he never makes her feel like that.
No.
You know, she says to me he's an absolute god, you know, he's like fucking God's gift to women and things like that. And he knows it. He knows he's good-looking. But he never throws it in her face of like... You know, I'm an athlete and you're not. And it's
like, I've noticed that, like, in real life, men don't necessarily have a problem with it.
No.
But there are not many men that celebrate it.
No.
Like, I've been, like, so my ex, for example, wouldn't say anything about it negatively, but wouldn't bring it up.
Yeah.
Like, it would still be like we're just not going to talk about it.
We're just going to...
Yeah. Whereas, like, my boyfriend now is like...
It's great.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
I like you, Chunky.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Something to
Good,
hold on
because
to.
I am.
And it ain't going nowhere.
We'd have a problem, wouldn't we?
But I get it, where there's some men that are like, oh, I want a thicker women, but not the thick that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Not the fat thick.
Yeah.
And it's like...
So you don't want a thick woman then? You
What-
just,
what do you want?
just want a normal, like...
I
just
will
bog-
suffocate you
Yeah.
with my ass. I'm not sorry.
I mean, most men like that.
If you want to die, you want to die. And I'll give it to you.
I've read a book with that in recently.
I'm pretty sure she sits on his face in this.
Is it this?
Yeah, he like she like hovers over him.
And he's
And
like,
he's like, I
sit on my
said
fucking
sit.
bit, yeah.
I said
That
sit.
is in
He
here.
like grabs
And
her by
she's
her
like-
eyes and like brings her down, and I was like,
I'm sat.
Mr. Sanders.
Okay.
Don't boy.
I really like this
Stop
bit
it.
where she says, I don't know, sometimes when I don't feel the greatest about myself,
Oh.
I let others treat me that way too. And he says, you don't let me treat you like that. Not that I would. That's because I always feel good around you. And that makes my chest swell with pride. People like that are going to treat you like you're not good enough or you're not worthy, but that's their own insecurities coming out. They're bullies and they'll stop when you make them stop. If you start loving yourself, their words will no longer have meaning, and you've got to start standing up for yourself, Stevie. And I just
love
thought, it's so true.
Yeah.
Like,
It's such-
you really
such
have
words of
to.
wisdom in there.
Yeah.
Because he's having issues with his family. She has issues with her mum, and it's like they've got like a shared
Trauma.
sort of trauma, aren't they? And it's just.
Well, it's when she's on the video call to her mum,
Oh.
Mhm.
and then Xanders is just stood there
In
And then he
grey
just goes-
sweatpants, may I have you know?
and
I know.
shuts the laptop.
We ain't talking about
and I was
her.
like,
That's what we want to see.
I like that.
I'm into that.
And he also adds his name into her phone as Z Daddy Xanders.
Yeah.
I was like, you absolute fucking thief.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, look. Come here, put your knees either side of my head and sit right here. A single index finger bounces against his lips. What? I release a startled laugh. Absolutely not, I will suffocate you. Sweetheart, death by pussy is the only way I plan on going, so get over here. If I don't make you come at least twice before my game tonight, I don't think we'll win.
He said, I said sit, not hover.
Oh,
What a filthy man.
I know.
And he is.
So good.
That's just...
What was everyone's last highlight?
Oh,
Last.
Yeah. We've done our first. What was
Right.
your last highlight?
give me a sec. Let's get into the...
So, my last one was...
Oh, mine's not even cute.
Mine is.
I don't know why I highlighted that, to be honest. Not everyone gets married the second that they meet their person. Yeah, but you're not everyone. So what's the deal? You pop in the question or what? Lewis is working on her ring. Getting her finger sized all those months ago was perfect cover. It should be ready soon.
It's extravagant as fuck, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you met me? Of course I have.
Whereas mine was mine. I melt to his touch. His hold tightens, and you're mine, sweetheart. None of this, he nods below us, was right without you. You're my first and only choice, V. And never again am I going to make you feel like you're not.
I want to throw up.
I wanted to launch this book
I
across
know.
the room.
Fuck off.
This one should have been my last one. So I only highlighted that last one because it was like a full circle moment.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it was my relationship tab.
Oh, yes.
This one, however, was my spicy tab.
Ooh.
Get on the couch and open your legs. I'm going to fuck you until you can't walk. You just went from daddy to baby real quick. Just call me daddy again.
Oh, yeah. This book is the only time that I will accept daddy.
Yeah.
I hate it
I
otherwise.
literally
so
read
do I.
it and thought of Jordan went,
Daddy. I can't stand it. If it's not done right, I don't want it. But I will birth his children. If I have to.
And that's saying something considering you don't want any more
That's
children.
it, 'cause I don't want any more. But mine was literally because it's only 2 lines. And it's literally me and Alex all over. If shit talking is a love language, then it's ours. And I thoroughly plan on bantering with my wild girl for the rest of my life. Me and Alex bully the shit out of each other. I just
I love
think, that's me.
That's me.
I was like, I'm going to put in a nice colour because that's me.
This was such a good bit.
Give it to me.
I've got to go back. It's going to be a
Okay.
long one, so buckle up.
I'm
Um,
sad.
so this is where they're sat and they're having the conversation, and she looks at his phone for some reason and sees the notes in his phone.
Yes!
And then, so he said, what's this? And she scrolls down every city we visit in the NHL listed in my notes. So obviously at the start of the book, obviously he's got girls in every city.
He's a fuckboy.
100%.
And he's got like a list of girls from every city.
That he would just go and have a quick...
So she's found this within his phone. And she says, "You're shitting me. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. See, you really were a little man whore." Little, I scoff. Nothing little going on here, sweetheart. Well, at least you were an organised and honest fuckboy. Can I read them? Sure. Oh, Nashville, this one's going to be a long list. It's her hometown. And he goes, "You can even read them aloud, V." She swallows. So this is Nashville. Stevie, curly hair and amazing ass, won't sleep with me, and I hope she changes her mind. Scrolling to the Denver tab, she clicks on it. Stevie has an attitude, likes basketball, and is down to eat burgers. She exits out, finding Washington, D.C. next. Stevie, she continues, best sex of my life. I can't read today. She keeps going to Calgary. Stevie, snuck her into my hotel room to watch movies with me all night. San Jose. Stevie, insane blowjob in the shower, wore my t-shirt to bed. Next, she finds Vancouver. Stevie came to my game, my favourite person to hang out with. Oh. Finally, she looks up at me. What is this? I told you, it's the list of girls I see in those cities. It's a little different now, but the concept is still the same. She focuses back on my phone, opening Los Angeles and then Seattle, finding them both blank. There's nothing in these. That's because we haven't been there yet.
It's like, you were so cute. But it's also like a real fuckboy mentality.
I don't even care, it's fine. I just like the fact that I know he is a bit of a dick at the beginning, but I like because he's involved in that charity, isn't he?
Yeah,
but also,
and I'm just like...
The thing is as well is that, like... So, fuckboys get a really bad rep.
They do.
Yeah.
But if you're being a fuckboy but you're respectful, then it's fine. Do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
It's when you're being a fuckboy but literally fucking people round that it becomes a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But he was doing it, wasn't hurting anybody, but he wasn't doing it anywhere near the level that people thought he was, because he was obviously doing it as part of his image.
Yeah.
And then
he was sort of moulded into that sort of personality, wasn't he?
But I think it's really nice because men get really badly stigmatised for that kind of thing. And it's nice that Stevie's just kind of like...
She sort of rolls with it, doesn't she?
Yeah, I know that's who you were. Do I care? No.
Like, that's not who you are now.
Yeah.
That's not who I know you to be.
What sold it for me is that he adopted that dog that she...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And
but
he says...
He full on says it to her, doesn't he? That it's nothing to do with her.
And he was like... She says, "Oh, you got her a Louis Vuitton collar with metal spikes on." And he says, "Have you met me?" "Of course I did." I just love that he knows he's got money. He knows he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
And
when
he's
they went
to the charity shop.
Yeah.
And she's like, you can buy me one thing if I can buy you one thing. And he goes, "No, I'll just buy you one thing." And she's like, "No,
I want
to buy you it." And he's like,
but
he does it anyway.
But he finds that like vintage baseball jacket, doesn't he? And he's like, "Oh my god, this was the best thing.
I'm having the best time."
Yeah, literally. It's so cute.
And it is. And
it is.
It was nice to read as well as it was nice to read just something really nice and fluffy.
The only downside I will give it is that I thought it was too long.
Yes.
It could have been shorter.
Yeah.
For sure.
This could have been a 300-page book, not a...
It's
583... Well, not counting the
570.
Chapter,
570.
Yeah, like, and not been like a 500-page book, like nearly 600.
Like, the slow burn is exquisite in this.
It is.
I love the slow burn. But it could have been...
slightly faster at burning.
Yeah. We could have had an inferno.
We could have put some lighter fluid on it.
Yeah. Barbecue fluid.
I quite like how slow the slow burn part was. I just think you could have taken some bits out that didn't really add to the story that much.
A lot of plain stuff I'd have taken out.
Yeah. Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whereas I really enjoyed the whole like in-depth hockey talk. Really enjoyed, because I know all about...
She got technical.
Because I watch the games and, you know, go to the games as well. Reading about it, I'm like, this isn't normally brought up.
Yeah,
in hockey
it's sort of
romances.
bypassed, isn't it?
It's like, oh yeah, he's a hockey player.
He's got a big dick and a big stick.
It's like, that's all I'm going to say about it. But with these, they like actually go to the games and like they talk through everything and like
it gets a bit technical, doesn't it?
I like that. I
like a bit of education.
We like
You
a
know.
bit of education.
I like to be educated. On
Educated.
these things. Anyway, overall, cracking.
Yeah.
Cracking. And I would highly recommend reading it.
Mm.
And I am anticipating that the other books in the series are also going to be fantastic.
Because I can't stand it when the first book's great and the next one's a flops.
And funnily enough, I'm doing this one now because it makes more sense. No, actually, no, I'm not going to.
She's not going to do
We've
it.
done that already, haven't we?
We've already done Play Along.
Play along. We already recommended it. Either way,
We
we'll
did.
recommend it again. Play along is probably out already when you're seeing this.
Yeah, most likely.
Because I'll see if I can find the date.
It'll be there.
It's like the 11th
Something.
of July.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 11th of July. So
Oh.
it will
So
be
it's
out
already
because, yeah,
So you've got 4.
There
Yeah,
you go.
4.
You've got 4 to faff about with.
exactly. Is it on KU? I don't think it is it?
No. It's not, I don't
I
think.
don't think so. I
Shame.
can't check.
It's alright, they're in the works anyway.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And they're
They're
all
really
on
good.
3 for 6. If you're not in the UK,
I'm sorry.
soz.
There's not much I can do for you.
Whoops.
Amazon.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. So, it is the end of the month. Which means book recommendations of the month.
Oh,
Who
yeah.
wants to take it away first?
Let me just get my knit.
Yeah, let me just...
We're going to not give any spoilers.
Oh, yeah, I'll try my best.
Yeah, so... I don't know if
Itchy.
I can...
Let's just find it.
You know what? I'm not even gonna... So, I'll go.
You go because you're ready and I'm not.
So, mine is God of War by Rita Kent.
Ooh, I like it.
It's last book in the Legacy of the Gods series.
Oh,
The dedication was just to an end of an era, and I read it and I was like,
no. I can't do this.
But it was my first amnesia trope.
How did that go?
I enjoyed it. Especially because Eli King is a filthy fucker. He is filthy.
Is it an arranged marriage?
No.
Are they already married?
And when she wakes back up. When she wakes back up, they are married again. Well, they are married.
Hello.
Like, but throughout the whole of the Legacy of the Gods series, it was always Eli and Ava hate each other.
Okay.
They hate each other. They want nothing to do with each other, but they're always like
There's a little bit
around each
somewhere.
other.
Yeah.
They're always fluttering around. Whenever
Yeah.
Ava's there, Eli's
He's
not too
there.
far away.
Yeah.
Um,
They've already planted the seed.
and then you find out why. And oh my god. But it gets to a point where you don't know if Ava is still a virgin. They are. And Eli and Ava have been married for that point for like 2 years.
Aww.
And he's not touched her. He
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
I don't want to. But then you get to the fuck it moment and
I love that, mate. I could fucking punch someone's cat over that.
Phil.
I'm sorry.
it was just
Come on.
But you also had sort of the mental health side of it because she had selective amnesia, but she's also on psychosis medication.
Aww.
So she sees things and stuff like that. So
This is too much for me to handle.
It was a lot.
Sounds so good though.
It
But
does.
the whole of that series is good. Don't get me wrong, first one, God Malice, Killian, he's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, I tried to read that and I was like, what the
I've
fuck
got
is
a long
going on?
time till I get there though.
And like,
You're doing the whole family
You're
tree,
doing the
aren't
whole of
you?
it.
I'm doing the Arena Universe.
I
yeah.
didn't, I just started that one.
She
and
went in with a bang.
I did. And like my favourite, which I didn't think was going to be my favourite, was God of Fury, which was the MM. It was my first MM, but thoroughly enjoyed it. Nikolai is absolutely crazy. He's like a pit bull and a golden retriever mixed in one.
Nice.
I like that.
And like,
Two of my favourite dog breeds.
and it was like, Bran has his like awakening,
Ah,
and Nikolai's like,
thank God. Here we go. I'm ready when you are.
but yeah, that was mine. I
Sit
loved
on it.
I'm sad that series is over, but we didn't need any more.
Right.
I think she said she
A good
might.
closure.
Yeah, I think she said she might do a novella, just because there's one guy that hasn't had his own book,
Oh.
but he wasn't part of like.
Is that going to be the end of the Renaverse? Of that whole.
Mm-hmm.
Because every single one of the books is connected to that
Yeah.
thing, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah,
It's just a lot.
I think
It's a
that
lot.
is the end of the Renaverse.
Wow.
But
I think I got about 5-6 books in before I was like, I need a break.
I need
Yeah.
to stop.
I need a break.
But that was my rec, and
I like it.
I liked it, and
Mm.
just need people to talk about it.
She just needs to say what she needs to say. Because we haven't read any yet.
No.
I have just had to research mine because I can't remember the names of the main characters, which is really shit because I've read it recently. But this was my only 5-star read from this month.
Mm.
And it's Breaking Yesterday. So this is the arc I was telling you about.
Oh yeah.
So it's by A.G. Harris, and I've never heard of her before, and I think she's quite a small indie author, and I honestly pleasantly surprised. One of my favourite books I have read in a really long time,
Love that.
and for a fluffy book, it was really good. So basically, it follows the two main characters. I can't remember the names for the life of me. The female main character is really unfortunate. Through her life, she's been through a lot. Like, she's orphaned, and then she lost her brother. So she's only got her brother and her left. But her brother, they're not close anymore because of all of that. There's some other, I don't want to give too much away because I honestly would highly recommend that you read it. And basically, for years, she's been trying her hardest to kind of work for her parents' company because her parents were like millionaires, billionaires, whatever. And they worked really hard. They'd only just kind of made it when they died. And so he's like the CEO of her parents' company. And so she worked on reception in the hope that he would see her every day and they would like rekindle.
Yeah.
And then after like a certain space of time, I can't remember how long it was, it might have been like 10 years, 5 years, something like that. She just decides, no, that's it, had enough. But she used to have an abusive ex as well. And so she was like, I need to escape. Like, he's left me alone. I just need to go and start fresh. So she goes and starts fresh. And then you've got the main male character is in the army, or he's like in the really like secretive part of the army.
Mm.
And he gets shot in the shoulder, so he's medically discharged. And so he has to go and be the CEO of his parents' billionaire company. And it turns out that, I mean, you can tell right from the start that this is what's happening, but they meet randomly because they live in opposite penthouses to each other, so they share like a corridor. But it turns out that
false proximity.
she's just started a job, and she's moved to Texas, I think it is, and she's starting a job as the receptionist, or not the receptionist, the PA for the
him?
CEO of the company.
I love it when it all comes together.
And honestly, it is fantastic. You even get the POV of his brother and her best friend for a few chapters within it, and it does what it, like, we were talking about
It just sort of mingles them in.
sets it
It
up
sets
for,
it up for the next book.
That's what I like.
I like that.
honestly, this book is amazing. I really, really, really enjoyed it. Let me see if I can get, I think I may have highlighted like a couple of things which they may just make you be like,
Because
because
everyone loves a quote, don't they?
it was spicy.
But it was nice.
Yeah. Let me see. Oh no, maybe I didn't. But I really liked this one because I think this is why it's called what it's called. But I had to break yesterday, stop the cycle from repeating. I finally come to terms with the idea that you can say screw you society, middle finger to the sky, and turn your back on what everyone's perfect mould is. It's okay to ask for help, to confess our emotions, stop being a closed bottle, and pour all that shit out.
Love that.
And
I
then
like that.
Okay, bitch.
that was in the prologue. And then
Say no
oops.
more.
Don't know where that's gone. Yeah, and then I highlighted this one because I thought it was funny. There are 2 types of jealous men. Type A is jealous because he's proud. He wants other men to know that you belong to him, like a trophy, but also like a treasure. He wants to protect you. Type B is jealous. He is jealous because he's insecure. He feels threatened, and that often leads to emotional abuse reflected onto the woman. And I just thought that's so true because when people say that, like, I actually like a jealous man. But I like type A.
They've got to be the right kind of jealous.
Not type
B.
Yeah, I don't want an insecure little bitch.
But it was quite spicy. It is a slow burn, but it's done so well. Honestly, I would highly recommend it. Like, I was so pleasantly surprised by it. It's brilliant.
I do love a pleasantly surprising book.
Yeah.
So it's out on KU now. It came out on like at the start of July. The second one's out on the 26th of July. Like, they're coming out like straight after each other.
Damn.
So yeah, I gave that 5 stars. Just FYI.
I'm going to give you a heartbreaking one.
Okay.
Sorry. So it's called The Death of Us. And it's by C.A. Maria. So I've never read anything. I think this is her debut one, and I gave it 5 stars. It was so fucking good. So basically, you have Emma, who's a journalist, and she's working for this shitty company. She's given all the shit fucking jobs, and she speaks to her manager about having, like, she sees a story online. She's like, I really want to run with it. I really want to have a go at it. And her manager's like, no, stick in your lane, stick what you're good at. And she ends up with a voicemail from prison of this woman called Bunny. Now, she's like 40 odd now. She's been on death row her whole life since she was arrested in her teens. And she and this lad called Cade, they went on a bit of a mad one to get a very Bonnie and Clyde sort of type deal. Right,
yeah.
So they were on a bit of a mad one when they were younger, and it's basically because, so when Bunny was younger, she was orphaned. She'd gone from house to house, stuff like that. She'd been raped. She'd been all sorts of stuff to her for a very young age. And then she wants to, what's it called? She wants to be a singer. She wants to be a star, Broadway, everything like that. Everything that a sort of young American girl would want. And she absolutely gives it her best shot. And she ends up like falling into the wrong hands. This sort of scout picks her up in a bar, and he's like, you look amazing. We'd love to take pictures of you, blah, blah, blah. She falls for it, ends up in some of the worst situations. Like, when I said this is dark and grey, it is dark and it's so heavy. Like, some of the themes that they go into, it's rough. Like, she ends up drugged, she ends up all sorts to her.
Is it like dark, not as in like dark romance, like Little Strange?
There is it's very much like it's sad. Real life.
Yeah.
It's real life trafficking and stuff like that. There is romance to it because obviously when she meets Cade, he's a cage fighter in this. He's come from a really rough background. He's been brought in by the same scout.
So what's this called?
The Death of Us. So he's brought in. They end up sort of like meeting on an off chance with each other. And she's like, my God, I'm so used to men treating me really shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, thinks the absolute world of her. And they sort of make an escape with each other. They make this pact of like, we'll get out of here and we'll have revenge on every single person that's wronged us. And that's exactly what they go and do. They go on an absolute rampage. That's the one. They go on an absolute killing rampage with each other. They're both backing each other up. She's like, if one of us dies, we both die, and that's that. That's how they're going out with each other. And the romance between them both is so nice. But I just like the fact though, so when this phone call from prison is Bunny, she's phoning Emma and she's like, I want you to tell my story. I'm due to die at the end of the week. I need somebody to say it as it is. So Emma's a bit like, what the fuck's going on? And it flicks backwards and forwards, so it'll go to Emma's point of view of questioning Bunny, and then from Bunny's point of view, it will go back to her childhood all the way up until present day. So everything that goes on between her and Cade, everything that goes on in her life before then. And there's just one quote that I'm just going to give you that I fucking sobbed. So she asked him something, and he's like, oh, we'll stick together, we'll make it right till the end and stuff like that. So she says, promise, and he says, on my life. And then it comes to her point of view, and she's like, it's a promise he meant literally. I learned eventually a promise he truly kept until the end. And I was just like, I won't give you the ending, but it's hard. It's so hard to read. And I was just like, I knew it was coming.
5-star books are the ones that make you feel something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've already been emotionally traumatised this month.
Yeah. It was so good how it was written. Because usually I don't like a back and forth.
No.
I like it just present day, and that's that. But how it was written,
done well.
how Bunny comes from like being this troubled child to like a 40-year-old on death row, and she's got a bit of a thing with her prison officer because he looks like Cade. And she's got such a soft heart for him, and even the prison officer's like, she told me one day that I look like Cade, and I've stuck with her this whole time. And he says I'll stick with her right until the end. And it goes into detail about her execution and stuff like that.
Not for the
Right at the end. And there's a letter at the end from Cade, and I'm like, oh my god.
I need to read that like now.
Yeah, that's gonna have to be back when I'm not
It
emotionally traumatized.
I bawled my eyes out of that.
I love that.
And it was literally off Instagram because somebody else had stuck it on there, and I was like, oh,
I love
this
that.
is amazing.
I love that.
And I read it in one sitting.
Really? Is it not long then?
It's not long, it's packed with detail more than anything else.
Yeah.
If you've got the brain cells to really keep up with the story, which you've clearly not at this point in time,
No.
then it's worth the read. If you want to cry.
I've had my cry
Alright,
for
well,
this month.
if you book it in for next month.
Next
for a
month.
It's only
cry,
333 pages
Yeah.
on Kindle.
That's not too bad.
No, not.
but
not
you
shabby.
get to that letter at the end.
And you're like, oh.
After Bunny's gone, and because it's just, what's it called?
Is it spicy?
There is spice in it, but you don't need it.
Yeah.
It's just an emotionally harrowing story.
yeah.
Okay.
Because
cool.
the relationship between her and Cade is just, it goes beyond the sex between them both.
Yeah.
And how Cade goes out is not the one.
Oh my god! I can't wait to read that.
No.
That sounds so good.
How he goes out is just not me.
Oh, so those are your recommendations. We recommend you go and read them. Funnily enough.
Yes, I would put it out there.
So now we have our book releases from the 28th of July to the 3rd of August. So we've got 5 Brothers by Penelope Douglas, which
Lord.
is due
I
out
have
the
read any
30th of
hers.
July.
I have read Credence.
Course
I
you
have read
I've read The
Credence.
Devil's
I have
Night
read-
series.
Birthday Girl. I have read the Devil's Night series.
50 Girl.
I read Punk 57.
I have not read that one because I heard it wasn't very good. So,
It was alright. I
I've
read it
50
like
Girl.
right at the start.
read Birthday Girl, read Credence, and read
Credence was good.
Devil's
Was it?
Night as well.
I tried to listen to the Devil's Night and I was just
I
like,
still think about Devil's Night.
That's my
But
Roman Empire.
basically
Game of
this
Thrones. Oh my god.
this is a standalone that is described as multiple love interests, one endgame relationship.
Oh, well then. Who's going to get that?
I think it's given a little bit of a reverse harem vibe,
It's the
Well-
but not fully. I think it's going to be another one like Credence.
Yeah.
She can
It's
have a
just one
double
getting-
and then she gets one.
Yeah.
Alright.
And then we've got 4 With Me by Becca Mack, which is the 4th book in the Playing for Keeps series.
Oh, that
I've seen
Consider
that,
Me and
yeah.
stuff like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
And that's found family, broody NHL player, team photographer, and roommates to lovers.
Roommate. Oh my god, they were roommates.
They were roommates.
So that's that for this month.
Mm.
So
What a sleigh.
that was chapter 15.
Yes.
Oh, done and dusted.
How exciting.
Done and dusted.
You've
So-
just read Done and Dusted,
I
haven't you?
have. It was great. I read it in like one sitting.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it was good. Recommend that as well.
Yeah.
But technically, that's not this month, so I
I know.
can't really
Yeah.
recommend it. But yeah, take us away.
It is.
Yeah, so if you want to stay connected with us on anything, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, and YouTube. We're active on all platforms, apart from Twitter/X, because I don't
Like it.
with that.
We don't care for it.
It just seems complicated, and I think it stressed me out too much.
Right.
So
That's fair enough.
And I just don't like it.
again, we're loving all of the engagement that we're
Yes.
getting. If you could do absolutely anything for us, please leave us a review. Leave us a comment. That would be amazing. The more reviews that we get, the more Spotify and YouTube pushes us out. But other than that, we'll see you next week.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Slay.